Baker's Breakfast Show. Call 020 722 42000. Danny Baker on BBC London 94.9.
The snail's on the thorn, the lark's on the wing, the rainbow's around our shoulder, and everything's for the best in this best of all possible world. Huh? What do you say?
Candide.
What? This? Do you want to pick this up? Let's have a go. Who can take a sunrise? Sprinkle it with dew.
Sprinkle it with dew.
Oh, you haven't got your headphones on. Sprinkle it with dew. Cover it in chocolate and a miracle or two. Who can? Candyman.
The Candyman, that's you. I said hello, good morning, Candyman. Didn't get my pound.
You can have it there.
That's why I came in.
As he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Victor Spinetti is here.
Yeah.
Who can take a rainbow? He can take a rainbow. He can wrap it in a sigh.
Yeah.
Cover it in anecdote, make a groovy showbiz pie. He's the Candyman.
Candyman.
He's a Candyman. He's a poet.
Candyman.
A published poet.
Poet, yeah, right.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, we're going to have some hijinks now. It's and I say this at the expense of absolutely ruining it for all our other guests. He's our absolute number one favourite guest, and that's it. I'm sorry, Shane. I'm sorry, Shane Ritchie. I'm sorry, Alfie Moon. That's how it stands. And anyone who's ever heard the tremendous performances before.
No, when you said the best of all possible worlds,
I
thought you were quoting from Candide.
I probably am.
Musical.
You are.
Yes, the best of all possible, because I was in that show.
One of these times I'm going to throw a subject at you and you're going to say, I have no idea what you're talking about, let alone be joined at the hip to it. Dan Castellanata. I mean, Victor's good enough to be listening an hour ago when I told my little story about sitting with Dan and we couldn't get a call up. Nobody knew who he was then, you know? And what's your connection with him?
Well, I was doing a show at the King's Head, Islington, and they'd just been up at the Edinburgh Festival. They'd stormed the festival, the whole cast of doing readings from the... It was a big sellout. And then that night, he had one night only in London, and he came to see me. And he actually came on stage. I had Homer Simpson on stage in my drill sergeant routine.
Wow.
Because he saw that in Magic and Mystery Tour.
Yeah.
He said, I got to be in it. So he came on stage.
Do you know, until you said that, I'm thinking... I was reading something the other day. Oh, I know. I went to the world's biggest... I'm forgetting last weekend when I was in Amsterdam. I went to the world's biggest record fair, and it really was. But I couldn't find a record I wanted when I got there, but it was a great weekend. However, there was these books available on the Beatles, and huge hardback books, one for every one of their albums. A hardback book for every one. And of course, it mentioned you in passing as I'm leafing through, and it said, who's been in all three of the films? And you know, I'd forgotten about Magical Mystery Tour, and I thought, he must have voiced over in Yellow Submarine. And of course, it's Magical Mystery Tour. The thrill stuff.
Yeah, well, John rang up and said, hey, Vic, do you want to be in our film? He sent me a note. He said, we've got no script, so why didn't you do that thing you do in the show, Oh Lovely War? Yeah. P.S. You got any uppers?
Yeah, that'll be Magical Mystery Tour by the sound of it. Anyway, how the hell are you? And
I'm very well.
Chitty
Baron Bombers.
Baron Bombers.
Chitty Bang Bang. I take my hat off to that company. They are absolutely wonderful.
People know this here. This is no schmoozing. People know that I'm not... Given the hours of this show and stuff, it takes a lot to drag me out of the old Blackheath pile of bricks and send me up to the West End to watch a show. Now, of course, our guest yesterday, Robert Bathurst, is in the Chekhov's Three Sisters at the moment. And naturally, I said, I'll try and get there and come around here. Yes. I said to him, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. However, I'm going to see Chitty Bang Bang for a third time because you're in it now. I've seen it twice, and now I'm going again.
Well, the other night, Ray Burns, a marvellous, he's a great singer, his wife Tilly, because he died last year. Mm-hmm. So she came out. She's an old lady. She's got arthritis, and Gilly Burns, her daughter, brought her to the theatre, and she came backstage as old lady, and she sat there, and it was the anniversary of her husband's death. She's in her early 80s. Yeah. And she said, that show. It's made me feel like a little girl again.
It is amazing. I cannot praise it enough, and I mean that. I paid for me tickets both times. Had it stunk the place up, I'd have said, well, I hope you're going to bring something to it. It is an extraordinary...
It's stunning to be
I bought half a row of seats for the second time we went.
In the last few weeks, it's been such a relief to go into the world of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It really has been wonderful. The squealing of the kids, delight.
It's absolutely a terrific show. If anyone's any doubts, think, here's something. For years and years and years before the show came out, we kept the flame burning for it on here in our silly old way for the film, you know. And how many times have we celebrated the film here? And we were I was a little cynical. I said, I'll be the judge if it's any good when the show comes out. It is better than the film. It is much better. Anyone who can resurrect the two spies, which dragged the film down, actually, by the way, but what a business that is. That is pure vaudeville, isn't it?
We see the new lot.
Yeah.
They're wonderful.
You've got pretty big shoes to fill, haven't you?
Yes, but he's got a new number. They've got a new number. The Spies got a new song. Yes.
Why wasn't I consulted about this?
We've got some new dialogue, and Michael Balcour's wonderful still in it. Anton Rogers still in it.
It's a terrific show, and the joy of it being at the Palladium as well. You know it's going to be.
And all the crew.
You know
they say you're going to be on Danny's show tomorrow. We're going to listen.
Well, good for them. Now
they're company managers listening.
Now they'll be hooked by the scene there. But when you go in and you've got little ones with you, because the audience is entirely, of course, with people with their kids and stuff, and the way it should be. And they give the booster seats. Now, this is London Palladium, you know, you thought, all the kids have got the booster seats, and it starts, and right the way to the rainbow finish when, shards of glittery paper come down over the audience, and you do walk out there thinking, man alive, that is show business. I no longer envy the 1940s and the great showboating shows.
It's a great big Palladium show.
We'll be right back. Where you go? Oh, man alive. So Victor Spinetti is with us, which allows us, of course, to play this. Just before we continue, Victor, if you would, I did ask people to call in. The first 10 calls are the only ones we take. Phrases with colours in them. Here we go. White lies, black moods, every cloud has a silver lining, having a purple fit, a yellow belly, painting the town red, the green-eyed monster, screaming blue murder, red sky at night, tickled pink. Very good, thank you. BBC London 94.9, and our hat is even sliding down past our ears. If you'll wait there, Gail, we're coming straight to you, but Victor Spinetti is with us because he's taken over as Baron Bombast in the greatest show in town, and the greatest show that's been in town for a very, very long while, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang over at the Palladium. And as much as you think you know what it's going to be, you don't until you've been to see it. Yeah, how do you, I mean, you say
even I sit in the wings, tapping my feet.
You're tapping your feet, you've got to do more than that. That whole South American rumba number at the end.
Samba, you want to see that.
How much are you giving it in there?
Everything.
Yeah?
You should see it, what? Hey, dancing around there.
I thought you'd given up on all that. Surely you thought, at least I don't have to do show tunes again.
I came back from another, that's it, now I'll take it easy for a bit, and suddenly you're in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And we're rehearsing every day.
That's a number that's not in the film. It's called the Baron's, what is it? It's called the
Bombi Samba.
Bombi Samba.
Yes. And Chuchi Face?
Oh, Chuchi Face, yeah, but Chuchi Face is a given with Baron Bombast. Of course Chuchi Face is a given. But that came out of nowhere.
And of course, Gillian, you can't be too rich and too thin. Lynn, the choreographer, wow, she's a toughie.
And there are some moves in that. That is a big show tune, isn't it?
Hey, I'm dancing.
You better. Here, could you put on headphones for a second? Here's Gail in St Albans. She wants to. Good morning, Gail.
Good morning, Candyman.
Oh, listen, why do I have two people here?
That was my 7-year-old.
Oh, is it? Oh! Oh, I do apologise. I tell you what, give me your 7-year-old again. Is she there again?
George? Oh, it's a boy, don't.
Oh, is it? Oh, I don't know.
Danny would like to talk to you. Put your head next to mine so I can hear.
Hello?
George?
Yes?
George? I need an heir, you see. I need somebody, supposing I drop down Duff right now and somebody said, well, who can be the new Candy Man? I want you to be the Candy Heir, George. George, you are the Candy Boy. If ever, for some reason, I lose my voice, we've got to be able to call you. George, do you accept this post? I am the official Candy Man. George, will you be the Candy Boy?
Yes.
Thank you very much. I have an heir. Now, Gail, could I have your mother back again? Gail?
I'm here, Danny.
Yes, Gail, you've called out of the blue and said, I have a connection with Victor. What is
Tell me.
My mother used to work at Sterling Light with you.
Where?
At Sterling Light.
Sterling Light, oh, I love it.
What's Sterling Light?
When I first came to London, you see, from Wales, right? Darling, how marvellous. How is she still with us?
Well, she is. She's got new knees and she's absolutely fabulous.
Oh, how fabulous.
Beautiful.
She'd need new knees if she was in Chitty Chitty Barry, I can tell you. But, I remember the Sterling Light, oh.
Tell us about it, Gail. What do you know of the connection?
Well, I just know that my mother used to make lampshades at Sterling Light, and I was talking to her when...
I thought this was some showbiz production.
No, they
No,
split
when I
lunch
first
break.
came to London,
Yeah.
so I never ever did the dole bit. I always took
Yeah.
jobs because at least you were working.
Of course, yeah.
And I was working in this factory called the Sterling Light Company, and there I was dipping frames in paint, and the girl on the switchboard. Whenever I went around all the agents leaving my number, the Sterling Light Company, and she would say, if they asked for me, she wouldn't say Sterling Light. She'd, I'm putting you through.
Yeah, to his office.
And I'd go through to this. There'd be in this factory bench with all this white paint and this mask. And one day I got a call. Would I get down to Drury Lane? They're auditioning for the third-year tour of the musical South Pacific. And I said, isn't that funny? I said, at the moment they're playing on the factory town now in the Sterling Light Company. They're playing Some Enchanted Evening. And the agent said, yeah, get out of Drury Lane. So, of course, I went down to Drury Lane from Sterling Light Company. Oh, darling, how lovely of you to remind me of this. And I was covered in white paint.
Yeah.
I had a crew cut. I was wearing jeans. I was wearing a T-shirt. And I looked like a CB from South Pacific.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I'd never seen the show. And I walked on stage at Drury Lane. This was the era when all actors went for rehearsals looking like, bowler hats and rolled umbrellas.
Yes.
And I walked on stage dressed as a CB. I didn't know. I was covered in Sterling Light
and
Company
they thought
paint.
this kid's keen.
And Jerry White, the guy who was directing the thing, was stirring this drink, and he said, Hugh, who are you? And I said, Victor Spinetti. And he said, well, what are you doing here? I said, well, I've come to audition. He said, you're an actor? I said, yeah. Well, what are you doing at the moment? I said, I'm working in this factory. He said, Jesus Christ, you're the first Englishman I met that works. And he said, read this part. And he said, okay, you're in the show.
And you're
join the show tonight.
That's Sterling Light. Gail, over the years, how often does your mother mention, that Victor Spinetti? Oh, yeah, worked with him.
Every time he's on the television.
Well, you know, darling,
Which
what
is
was
a lot.
wonderful? When I got the job, because you can give an hour's notice, right?
Yeah.
That night, I went back to the factory, and I had this taxi with all my bits, and they all came out. All the girls came out in the street and waved me off as this taxi.
What did she say, Gail? She said that?
She said, when Victor was on last time, I said to Mum, oh, Victor was on the radio, and she said, oh, I remember we all waved him off when he
did.
went himself.
And I remember I'd gone goose pimply because as I looked back out of the cab window, there were all these girls coming out of the factory waving as I drove off into show business.
Yeah,
Honest to God.
What a terrific image. Well, Gail, thank you
Wonderful.
very much indeed.
Thank
Of course,
you.
remember Victor. Your mother's name?
Mary Cattell.
Oh, Mary, give her my love.
Yeah, you
will
bet.
do.
Well done,
Thank
Gail.
you.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, wasn't it? It could have been one of those moments where you said,
No, it
look
was
at that.
wonderful.
Oh, to pull
It
that
was
out,
wonderful, and I went up to the theatre, first big theatre I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
And I went backstage and I could hear, some enchanted evening, you will see a stranger. I thought, this is it. This is my lucky song. This is it, Vic. And they said, you're in that dressing room over there. And I knocked the door, and there was this guy, totally naked, peeing in the sink. And he turned round and said, hello, I'm Sean Connery.
Oh, no!
It was his first job as well.
Up until now, of course, up until now.
Well, it's theatrical tradition.
Up until now, yeah, but up until now, Sean Connery. Anyone mentions Sean Connery, I see him.
Don't tell him. Don't tell him.
In the dinner jacket.
I said.
In the dinner jacket, tapping the cigarette against the cigarette case. Bond, I'm James Bond. Now I see him.
The first,
SBN.
we shared a dressing room, we shared digs,
Wow.
we travelled around the country, we had a great time.
Just coming up to the 8:30 news. Of course, you're at the Palladium, Shitty Bang Bang at the moment at the Palladium.
Yeah.
And don't whack me, don't throw something at me. This obviously isn't your first time at the Palladium, was it? I mean,
No.
When was your first time at the Palladium?
First time the Palladium was 20 years ago.
And is it amongst, or is it just people outside the profession look at
No,
as the
I
pinnacle?
love it.
Is it the pinnacle, the Palladium?
Listen,
still?
when I first came to London, I was at the Sterling Light Company, and I had my equity. When I got my equity card, then you could go on Wednesday afternoons for nothing to show your card, and I saw all the greats. I saw Jimmy Durante. I saw Jack Benny.
Did you see
I
the
saw
famous Danny
Danny
Kaye? I was going to say the famous Danny Kaye run. I'd love to have seen
Well,
that.
okay.
Oh, sitting on the edge of the stage with the one spot.
Yeah. Well, he was wonderful.
Yeah, well, here's someone who remembers it. Listen, the first. Here, oh, look at this. This is from Angela in Bromley. First time I saw Victor on stage was on my wedding day. I went up to London on the 3rd of March 1981 and saw Cinderella at the Palladium.
Yeah.
Stupendous King Rat, she says.
Yes.
That's it, she said, by which all others are measured. Truly the best pantomime villain I have ever seen. I've
how
seen
wonderful.
someone. Yeah, they said. The only person ever... Then she says, the only person who came close, Derek Griffiths as Ebenezer a few years
And
later.
of course, he's with us now as child catcher.
Which is, oh yes, of course, Child Catcher.
He's
Oh,
wonderful.
that's strange, isn't it? Both back. And it says, we're definitely coming and give me your regards, Andrew in Block. Do you know how lovely
Come
you are?
back say hello.
Look at that. See,
Louis Benjamin, who ran the Palladium at that time, we were rehearsing, and I had this number as King Rat. The rats are creeping down the street, and I could hear the seats banging as the kids went to the lab. And I said, oh, do I have to sing this? He said, it's your spot. You got 3 minutes. You're at the Palladium. Do your own thing. And so I did the habanera from Carmen. I'm King... I wrote the words.
Yeah.
I'm King Rat, the evil one, who stops all little children having fun. And it was da-da-da-rump, you girls and boys, I'll dance and stamp upon your Christmas toys. And the end was, may your soccer team never score another goal. Well, the roof went up.
Well, we can't follow. Where you go, Ola? You're my little churchy face, my little churchy face.
Churchy face.
Oh, we're getting around it. You're the little apple of my eye. What a song.
Your churchy nose, your churchy eyes.
What a thing. Oh, put the echo still on. Victor Spinetti is with us, who's in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang at the Palladium.
Singing away.
Yeah, exactly. And giving it because he's giving it away because that's the only way you can get anything.
Only way you can get anything is you've got to give it away.
Well,
if you want interest, if you want joy, if you want love, if you want anything, you've got to give it. And if you have talent, give it away. Don't worry about fame.
Yeah.
Don't worry about success. Just do it.
Fantastic all the way around. Just hear from the monk to clear our throats before we continue. Thank you very much. That is an actual Tibetan monk, man. I thought it'd be serene and stuff, but that's an actual Tibetan monk, everybody. Now, here's Peter in the West End. He's got a story about Ringo, because I said we always get stories about John and all that, and it'll lead into you. I'm sure. Really, you surprise me, Victor.
I give them away. I don't.
You know, but it's always
a lot of
giving,
people keep things back.
I'm like you.
Do you know friends? Maybe you know friends who know important friends. They never introduce you to those because they keep those to themselves.
Yeah, I
don't do that.
No. Well, I've got to go back 2 or 3, and everyone's sick to death of them, to tell the truth. But I just found out last. Here's Peter in the West End. Peter.
How you doing, mate?
Victor, if you're with Bungalow, good as gold. Say good morning, Candyman. You win £1. You know the way it works. Thank you, man.
I didn't get my £1, Peter.
You're going to get £1. Don't worry, the £1. It'll all mount up, and then imagine you'll have £3. Okay. Victor, Peter, what have you got for us?
A mate of mine used to be a driver for Ringo Starr in about the early 70s.
Did he really? No, Ringo, of course, was on the sauce in those days. He probably needed a driver.
Exactly, that's exactly what, exactly. That was the period. Actually, he was in a band, and they sacked him from the band and told him that he was going to be Ringo's musical collaborator, but in actual fact...
He was his driver.
His driver, yeah.
And nothing but good things I hear about Ringo, is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. Basically, though, he used to ring him down and to the cottage where he was living, and he used to think he was going to sort of do songs with him, and he used to ask him to go and get mushy peas and chips for him instead.
Yeah, that's why he came home from the ashram, wasn't it? Because he just said, this is all very good and that, and I'm trying to join him, but this is just not for me. And
one particular time, he was going out with an Oriental lady at the time, I think, and... he was driving her somewhere, and she sort of pulled him to one side and asked him if he could have a man-to-man word with him, and said, any chance of him having a wash? Because
well, the early 70s, we know, it just wasn't in then. It wasn't in. And now, of course, the best groomed Beatle there is, I believe. But thank you very much, Peter, which will lead on to your story. There was a bit of Ringo, and I was interviewing him once, and... it's so strange, and you can tell from the new anthology, they've just put the anthology out on DVD, and it's so odd to hear them tell this story which happened to them, and that everyone knows every detail of, and you see the Beatles talking about it, and they're not quite as clear on it, and then he said to me, and I remember the one we ended up on the roof. What was that? And so I said,
Savile Row.
No, but he said, no, it's Ringo talking. He said, and I said, well, that'll be, Let It Be, won't it? Get back. Was it? So I said, yeah, and he said, yeah, well, that one anyway. And he's thinking, what do you mean the one where you ended up on the roof? It's just a little like, that'll be Let It Be. Yeah, because we played Get Back. And you have to finish his sentences because they're aware of their legend, but it happened to them rather than, us being spectators. Now, have you got a Ringo story at all, Victor?
Funny enough.
A million of them, yeah.
No, this one particular one, it could have the Beatles could have ended at that time. It's about 1965, we were filming Help. And it was the first days first day shooting.
I'm such in awe of phrases like we were filming Help.
No, well, it was the first day shooting, right?
Yeah.
First shot of the film out on the yacht, out in the water. It was quite chilly.
Bermuda, was it Bermuda?
Yeah, no, Bahamas.
Oh, Bahamas.
Away from the beach, a lot of people on the beach shouting and screaming, so we'd be right out in the water. And I was foot coming out, and there was Ringo on the operating table, and Eleanor Brom would come in and rescue him, and he would dive off the yacht into the water.
Oh, yeah.
And I came up with Roy Kinnear, sand in the generator, trying to get this knife to cut trying to cut his finger off. She was on the operating table. Now, the camera crew was with Dick Lester was quite a distance away, and you could hear action. And Ringo, Lenderborn cut things, and Ringo dived from this yacht, which must be about 30 feet high, down into this water. When there were shark nets all around, and there were people around there to get him out of the water when he was diving into the swim. They helped him out, and they sat him on the boat, and he was sitting there all shivering like this, and they dried him off. It took a little while, dried his hair, and then they said, action! And Ringo... So they got him out, and they were sitting drying him like this, and he said, "Oh, Vic, do I have to do this again?" I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, I can't swim." Could have been the end of the beat. I shouted, "He can't swim!" They said, "Ah!" And I said, "Why do you do this?" He said, well, the director shouts action, and you have to do it, you know.
That was the very first scene as well.
Very first take. If he drowned, that would have been the end.
I love it. The British, you see. Rubbish.
Yeah, what?
Everything you used in it. Rubbish. British, wasn't it? Oh, man.
I had a
and
look
you've just done some of the others, is that right? You've been helping on the DVDs of
yes.
Magical Mystery Tour?
Yes, and of help for Apple when they come out eventually, in case I'm not here
Last time I saw you were off to the States to do, I know we're just a little bit of travel, but you were doing the Hard Day's Night tour over there.
That's right, with John Junkin.
But it went well?
Yeah, very well indeed.
Jesus takes a throne and he turns it upside down, and oops, there comes a smile. When I'm very sad, Jesus makes me glad, and oops, there comes a smile.
Victor Spinetti's here, but just before we carry on, here's Amy with some showbiz tittle-tattle child star roundup. What have you got for us, Amy?
Well, seeing as it's Free for All Friday, I thought I'd bring you a classic arts and entertainment showbiz tittle-tattle roundup.
I like these. This is what we do. Occasionally, if perhaps, there's no point trying to put scaffolding around some of these more, peculiar or not interesting showbiz stories. So, as Mark occasionally does with the sport, we bring you Showbiz Classic, and that is what you're bringing us now.
Yes, and this is Showbiz Classic. Just to let you know, later today, Omar Sharif will be born. And the king of ragtime, Scott Joplin, will die.
Oh, same day?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe spirits enter and all of that.
And very soon, later today, a simple cinematic waddle will make movie history.
Go on.
Because Charlie Chaplin's third film, The Tramp, will be released in cinemas today and over the weekend. And Charlie was paid $1,250 a week to make the film.
Which I understand he kept to the last. Oh, you did a spanner get a tanner out of his hand. That was, he kept
still keeping in the movie world.
Yeah.
The first 3D movie will be released today. It's called House of Wax.
Oh, I saw House of Wax.
Price.
Yeah, House of Wax.
And the safety pin patent is expected to go through today. Its inventor, Walter Hunt, is hoping to sell the patent for $100.
It's on funny. That woman who got hit by the knife on the television yesterday, she's got a big safety pin in the front there, so it's up a sight.
Marlene Dietrich is entertaining the American troops overseas.
Yes,
I'll tell you about that.
Yeah, she's entertaining the troops overseas and celebrating her 5th year as an American citizen. And, yesterday we heard that the Beatles are breaking up. You'll obviously read in today's papers the formal announcement made by Paul McCartney. Well, today, funnily enough, the Beatles have a #1 hit, Let It Be.
Let It Be, of course. The one we did on the roof, as Ringo put it.
Yeah.
Wow, so and it's all
there you
today.
go. Yep, all today.
See what the boys in the back room will have. So, Marlene, you lit up at Marlene.
Yes.
Come on.
I gave you her present, I think, last time. If I haven't given you her present, I'll give it to you now. We were in a taxi cab going up the Champs-Elysees, going to the pictures.
Who was?
Marlene Dietrich and myself. She had a bag of
You and Marlene Dietrich on the Champs-Elysees in the back of a taxi. Just skip. No.
We were going to the cinema. She wanted to see Boom, the film with Richard.
She told me she was washing her hair.
Well, she did.
You got to see Boom. Oh, well, it wasn't all good then.
So we were in the cab, and she had this bag of toffees, and we were going up the taxi, and all the way up, you saw the rear lights of the cars, and then the headlights of the cars coming down. It was jammed. I thought we were going to be late for the movie, so I said, "Oh, look at that traffic jam." She said, "Oh, I know, sweetheart. Oh, look, isn't it beautiful? Look, rubies going up, diamonds coming down."
Oh, right.
Isn't that a great description of a traffic jam?
It is. Ruby's coming up.
And when you're stuck in one, think of that. And I told a friend of mine once that he said, all right for you, he said, stuck in a bloody taxi with Marlene Dietrich.
Yes, exactly. You should be there before Swatty Mill support. So, come on, mate. It loses its romance.
Isn't it a lovely line?
It's a beautiful line. And beautiful to deliver classic showbiz news. Thank you very much indeed.
Yes, lovely. Thank you for reminding me of that.
And now, here's a couple of things I've written down. When was the last time, or have you ever played a really no-good, right-down baddie? Have you ever played an evil character?
Well, only in panto, really.
Yeah.
Villains,
Do you long to play? Do you have any longings left as a performer?
No, I've never really had any plans.
Yeah.
I've never made any plans. Like some people say, well, I think I'll direct now for a while. I think, really?
But you've directed, you've published poetry, you've done all of that. Yeah.
These things turn up and you just go and do them.
Something will turn up.
You just have to do that.
Yeah.
So I've never really made
But you're not
plans.
one of those who sits in a theatre or a cinema and thinks, oh, I'd have been good in that. You don't envy at all, I take it.
Oh, no, don't have that. No egos. A lot of old rubbish.
Yeah, but having said that, the business may be awash in them. No names, no packerel here, but...
You don't have them. The biggest people you work with are the simplest. They really are. It's the ones
you must have worked with some fantastic old upstagers, though. This light is exclusively for my use.
Yes, of course. One does, yes. Not people like John Gielgud. He was wonderful.
Yeah, but who? Just one, come on.
What?
One person.
Upstagers?
No, one person who really was, you think, who does she think she is?
No, not really. No, I could not. Honestly, but I can't really think of one.
Someone who's dead, they can't sue us.
If it comes up, I'll tell you.
All right.
I really will.
All right. What would you say has been a stinker you've really enjoyed? A production that you thought, well, this aren't going to last at the end of the week?
Well, I was in one that lasted one night in New York. It opened on the Saturday and closed on the Saturday. Sure did.
What was it?
It was a thing called La Grosse Valise, and there was a guy at the time who wrote a show called La Plume de ma Tante.
Oh, yeah,
Robert Derry. Mm-hmm. And Robert Derry invited me over to Paris to see La Grosse Valise.
La Grosse Valise, the fat suitcase.
Yes, that's it. And the whole thing it was a great big hit in France.
Yeah.
There was this big trunk on the stage, and everything came out of this trunk. It's stuck at an airport. Everything came out of this trunk. So I went to see the show, big hit in Paris, and we flew over to America with it. We landed in Boston, and we opened in Boston. Ronnie Fraser was in it too.
Oh, right, okay.
Yes, because when we arrived at the airport, he'd had a few on the plane.
There was a fellow who had some stories.
Oh, boy.
And
when he got off the plane, the customs, the immigration people at the plane said, "Can I see your passport?" He said, "See my passport? I don't even want to come to your bloody country." And so
anyway,
he was in jail for about 3 days.
How and why did it close?
And then it was a big hit in Boston.
Yeah.
And we thought, this is it. And we're now going to move into... And I stayed in that hotel with the actress, Gene Simmons and Spencer Tracy. That was the hotel I stayed in.
Yeah.
And we come down to New York. Meanwhile, Robert Derry had a row with his wife and went to France. Left us opening. On the opening night in New York.
So, okay.
And there's nobody there, no director. We were rehearsing for a week with no director. The producer said, I'll do it. And the producer was a guy who ran a restaurant. So he said, okay, we did the show. And I remember Tennessee Williams was there.
Uh-huh.
And he came back and he said, Victor, I'll see you in anything, but don't be in this again.
And you weren't?
No. And we opened on the Saturday at the 54th Street Theatre. And then we went to the New York Hilton for our meal. They put the shutters up. No, they have the shutters they have in the hotels. And there's all the food and the things. Well, we lifted the shutters, and the producer came in with the reviews and said, I'm not paying for another thing. And they closed the shutters. And we had our empty plates. Honest to God. So we went round
just like blue touch paper.
We went round the corner.
Like the blue touch
we went
paper
round the corner and we all had a meal on our own, and then we
just the one night.
Just one night. We ran one night.
And we'll quickly come to Tony in Camberwell then. But Tony.
Hi, Danny.
No, good morning,
Candyman.
Thank you very much in tone as always. The man who gave me the cheese hat once. If that's not a euphemism, he really did. He really did. Tony, very quickly, what have you got, my friend?
Well, my father was in the business, of course.
Yeah, in what business? The cheese business?
No, the show business.
Oh, the show business. Okay, yeah.
It's difficult following Victor. Good morning, Victor, by the way.
Good morning.
Tony
just very quickly, Esther Ranson used to have a thing for my father.
Oh, this is finishing off. I think this is all week we've been doing people's.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Could have been. Yeah, Esther Ranson, really?
Absolutely. And there was a period in the sort of 70s and in the 80s when she was never off the television.
Mm-hmm.
And my father used to sit there with a wry smile on his face, and he used to drive my mother round the bend, and she was, and he just used to smugly say, "Oh yes, she used to give me the eye and everything when they were working together."
And the suggestion was it went further. You don't have prominent teeth yourself, I take it. You see where I'm going with this, do you?
Absolutely not.
You see where I'm going with this. Tony, I'll have to add, as you know, we talk at length usually, but we're coming to the end of the show, and Victor be good enough to entertain us all for the last hour, so it's the least we can do to say, Baron Bombast in Chitty Bang Bang. If it wasn't a good enough show, they've now bolted Victor Spinetti onto it. I'm saying that's it. The West End can't take such entertainment. Victor, always a pleasure. Thank you. Anytime you want, mate. The door is open. But
thank you.
We can only state so much entertainment. Way you go, Otis.